Welcome to attend the press conference for the 13th National People's Congress. The topic of today is to speed up the construction of the innovative country. Today, we are glad to have Mr. Wang Gang, Minister of Ministry of Science and Technology, and Mr. He Defang, Director General of Department of Policies, Regulation and Supervision, and Mr. Xu Jing, the Director General of the Department of Innovation and Development of MOST, to attend this press conference and address our questions. First of all, we would like to invite Mr. Wang Gang to give us a short briefing. Dear friends of the media, good morning. It's my great pleasure to meet you all again in spring. Thank you for your long-term interest and the support to the work of innovation in science and technology. Today, we have prepared a 7-page documents in relates to science and technology innovation. Now, I would like to give you a short briefing now. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, President Xi Jinping has put science and technology innovation as the core of national development, and we implement the innovation plan actively and start the process of making China to become a superpower in science and technology. And we can see that innovation has playing a key role in the national policy and made historical changes in its evolution. And the efficiency and the effectiveness of innovation has been improved in the past years. And the model has been shifting to a leading role. And for the contribution rate has been increased from 52.5% to 57%. There are massive achievements in the area of science and technology. And our achievements in innovation has been leading the world. With Premier Li Keqiang just in the government work report, he pointed out that the strategy to speed up the construction of an innovative country and to drive the economic growth. With all the efforts, we will make contribution to the economic growth as well as the innovation. With the policies put forth by China, we have a very detailed plan with the commitment to further improve the supply side reform and the rural revitalization. Innovation has played a crucial role. Going forward, in following President Xi's thought on socialism of Chinese characteristics for the new era, we will follow the guiding principle from the Central Committee of the party and continue to further the advance of science-tech innovation and boost the opening up. Our goal is to make contribution of building a moderately prosperous society and make China into an innovative country in the world. Thank you.
政府工作报告对5年科技创新进展给予了很高的评价，指出创新驱动发展成果丰硕，整体创新能力和效率有显著提高。那么，请问5年来我国科技创新发生了哪些明显的变化？谢谢。
With China Daily, The scientific and technological progress over the past 5 years was given very high marks in this year's government work report. It's been highlighted that the innovation-driven development has yielded fruitful outcomes, and we have achieved a remarkable improvement in our innovation capacity and efficiency. Mr. Minister, what are the exact improvements in the past 5 years in terms of science and technology? Thank you.
这个我们国家啊，这个18大以来的5年当中啊，科技创新领域和其
Since
他
the
领域一样，
18th CPC National Congress,
党中央、国务院的
China
高
has
度
made
重视
great
坚强领导
contribution
下，
in the area of innovation of science and technology. With the strong leadership of the Central Committee, and with the progress to build a socialist country, we have made solid efforts. And we have achieved revolutionary achievements and a series of innovation outcomes. I would like to highlight the following aspects. First of all, we see a distinct improvement of the capacity of the innovation. And we are continue to strengthen our leading role in the area of innovation. And our technology has become one of the leading areas in the world. And we have made a solid progress in the space area and nuclear power, and also the deep sea research. And we have strengthened our fundamental research. For example, to counter the quantum satellites, the somatic cells research, and for all of these researches, we have made crucial importance. And for the satellite-related researches, we have continued our effort to make all of these projects to make contribution to our environmental supervision. And for the FAST telescope project, this kind of build-out of infrastructure has also made good progress. The second point I want to make is that for the innovation, it has played a positive role for the reform of the supply side and improve the livelihood of the society. In the past few days, I got a chance to watch the movie The Amazing China. I was deeply touched by this movie. And I do see the achievements made in the infrastructure, including the bridge, waterways, and other sectors. And a lot of the areas have made progress. For example, the telecommunication, the high-speed rail, and new energy vehicles and AI. All of these sectors has been developed rapidly, and we can feel all of this in our lives. And the sci-tech can help us to improve our living standards as well. For example, fighting against the blue sky and also ensuring a healthy China policy. And we also see a lot of transformations in our area. For example, the optimize of the structural investment in the innovation. For the science-tech innovation in China, we improve the mechanism to manage the funds which supports the innovation. And we have strengthened the transformation of the science-tech achievements in China. And in the past, we're just focusing a small group of science-tech researchers to make developments of the innovation, but now we are encouraging the business startups as well as the innovation. And the Maker Zoom has also contributed to the real economy. And we have over 2,000 business incubators and over 150 high-tech zooms in China. And we built a very effective ecosystem which serves over 500,000 business, and we're creating 2 million more jobs in China last year. And the diplomacy in the innovation also have made substantive steps last year. We have a lot of diplomatic actions taken last year. For example, the G20 meeting, the BRIC conference, and the Belt and Road Forum. All of these, we can see the impact of the innovation. This kind of innovation can also strengthen the partnership between China and other countries with more diverse methodologies. But still, we have a long way to go. We need to continue to strive for a better development for the innovation and strengthen our work to make innovation contribute to the livelihood of China. Thank you.
第3排，穿青色衣服这位女记者，对。
感谢主持人。万部长您好，我是科技日报融媒体记者。双创呢是一个社会热点，也是科技日报近年来持续关注的话题之一。政府工作报告提出，促进大众创业、万众创新上水平，打造双创升级版。请问下一步在打造双创升级版上，咱们有什么具体措施？谢谢。
With science and technology daily, the concept of mass entrepreneurship and innovation is followed closely, not only by our news agency, but also across the whole society. In this year's government work report, it is said that we will take the nationwide innovation drive and business startups to the next level, thus creating an upgraded version of this initiative. Mr. Minister, what efforts will lead us to such upgraded version? Thank you.
刚才呢，我简单的介绍了一下双创发展的这个。
Just now, I gave a brief
这些年来，我走了很多
situation around business startup and innovation. Actually, these years I paid a visit to many makerspace and also got the opportunity to know a lot of young innovators. I believe this initiative is the way for the young innovators to achieve their dream, bring their dream come true. It's full of energy and vitality. And in addition, this initiative also provides a great platform, or let's say stage, for the research institutions, enterprises, universities, to give them the environment to serve the real economy development. So that's the horizontal as well as vertical directions, so that provide more products or meet people's needs for their life. It's a way or a tool of reforms to bring a wider assessment to resources. So these research institutions get involved and integrated in this makerspace, and also, like, say, the public sectors, like you need the cross-discipline resources, you need other resources. All these actually right now is pulled together on the same platform. The entrepreneurs with successful experience, they are now taking active steps toward the young generation of innovators to give their experience in the past. Just now I heard the ACPPCC delegates conference. I just heard that one of them actually brought his own experience to the young generations about how to really make through the hard days. And the initiative of Business Startup and Innovation Drive actually also open our door to the outside world. No matter in the Silicon Valley or in Paris, you can always find some young Chinese people with foreign young innovators that create a technology together. And also cross-train makerspace right now is also emerging. I also had a visit to this kind of the space. Actually, it's very encouraging. All in all, the form of making makerspace actually is very popular and welcomed by the innovators, by the market, by the society, by the market entities. The upgraded version or the next level of the drive needs the following steps. Let me elaborate in details. Number one, we should let the drive to better serve the real economy or the integrated shape, which means that the collaboration between enterprises, universities, research institutes, and end users, as well as business of all sizes. So we have the better coalition between all the stakeholders or the players. Another is the fintech. And as well as the capital support or the financial support in all sides to facilitate business startups and innovation drive. And third, we should increase or enrich the content. So we have the major projects to the commercialization of basic research. Let me show you a small story. One foreign friend come to me, like right now you have all different new innovations or inventions. Right now you talk about the new 4 types of invention. Like the bicycle, actually, we had that for a long time. But sharing bags is something new. Talk about GPS, we have Beetle satellite. We talk about a mobile connectivity. You need to be based on 4G. We talk about big data, cloud computing. I should base on the existing technology as well as something new. That's all involved and produced by the country's national overarching plan. I can tell all these master plans right now is down to every innovators and inventors, and the product they generate or they produce actually fulfill the market requirements. Before, we're a very big country of bicycles. Right now, you can see we have a new form and new demand from the market. We focus on the supply of the routes. We should open resources and better commercialize them. We should also strengthen our cooperation and actively involved in the global picture. On the one hand, we attract the resources around the world. So right now, for young generations, there are less language barriers, more ideas sharing. This is conducive to the internationalize business startup and innovation. And last not but the least, we should create a better ecosystem, as well as to strengthen the capacity for the industrial chain involving industrial park, the incubators, so we can provide better service to the talent training, the industrial development. To sum up, I believe the business startup and innovation drive should be high quality driven and better serve the modern economic development. Thank you.
外国记者。
谢谢主持人。部长好，各位好，我是香港卫视记者。那么呢，近年来我们见证了中国科技突飞猛进的发展。那么其中近1年的关键词就是人工智能。那么中国有哪一些最新的人工智能的一些发展规划？另外呢，它会在哪一些方面呢改变老百姓的生活？谢谢。
With the Hong Kong satellite TV, in recent years, we have witnessed a leapfrog development in science and technology. Among various respects, the artificial intelligence is one of the greatest interest. Mr. Minister, I want to know what are the new developments and policy with respect to developing artificial intelligence, and in what area can this technology change people's daily lives? Thank you.
Your Chinese is amazing. Also reflects the sentence I just mentioned. Language barriers right now is less and less. More we can see is the idea sharing. Regarding your question about AI, actually, that had a long history of development. The CPC Central Committee and State Council always attach great importance in this regard. We can trace back from the beginning of the 1980s. With recent years' development, with our accumulation of experience, as well as development of digital sector, hard, software development, more and more results actually is conducive to those economic and social development. We can see many sectors have achieved great development. We see the AI application, like the robots, not only for the manufacturing sectors, right now is for the parcel allocation, as for the express delivery. And yesterday we have the report released by the Supreme Court, and we talk about the intelligence or the smart court. Actually, you can see AI right now is applied to different sectors and fields. We also see the leading companies right now is taking the driver's seats. Under this circumstance, we had the plan to lead the new round of AI development. This also received the importance from the General Secretary Xi Jinping and the Premier Li Keqiang. And for the Ministry of Science and Technology, we also applied our new proposal in this regard and approved by State Council. All I'm talking about is from the high-level guidance. It's emphasized we should better integrate the AI development as well as socio-economic development. We should let technology to drive and open more resources and be open-minded. All of the, actually, in the end, we want AI to take a leading role. So we have a very solid research and then to commercialize it to help the innovators, inventors get benefit from them. So the first thing we have done is we build up a platform for open resources, like Baidu, focus on the automotive drive system. Alibaba right now is working on the smart transportation. Tencent, focusing on medical services, as well as the footage management. Koda Xunfei right now focusing on the language part. And talking about face recognition technology, right now is already applied to the airports or the railway stations. All of these should be more opened, like the technology can be conducive to our economic and social development, and let our innovations benefits all of us. But all of these are actually based on the very strong and solid foundations. The things we have to do is first we should enhance these foundations, speed up new round of AI-related key technology research, system integration, and all of these research results can be quickly uploaded to the platform and commercialized in an effective way. And we also should keep upgrading, updating, and improving results. The guidelines and the policies will be released in this regard very soon. Second, we should drive forward the application of AI, and like AI play a pivotal role that benefit our daily lives, like the people's most concerns, medical, environmental protection, medical service, environmental protection, and securities. We all know AI have the meaning for economic and social development as well as technology improvement. We should focus on the legislation in this regard. We should play an active role, like we think about the national security, the individual information, the potential risks, all these we should into our consideration to formulate the policies and regulations. So the technology research as well as social research should be well combined and designed. So the nature research should bring the new ground breakthroughs, and social development should provide the strong impetus to the people's livelihood development. And we should also strengthen our collaboration around the world, which support the institutions, universities, and companies to have better cooperation with their counterparts around the world. For the key links, we should play a greater role. Thank you.
左区第三排，从前面数第三排，靠过道 右手第二个记者，穿西装的，好，对。
好的，谢谢主持人，我是中国国际广播电台和国际在线的记者。我们注意到今年的政府工作报告提出要落实和完善创新激励政策，绩效评价要从重过程，要加快从重过程到重结果转变。那么想请问科技部，当前我国的创新激励评价制度存在哪些不足？接下来将采取哪些措施去推动激励和评价制度改革？谢谢。
With China Radio International, the government work report this year touched upon the subject of implementing and improving policies that stimulate innovation and of shifting assessment method from process-centered to result-oriented. Mr. Minister, can you enlighten us the problems in the current policies and assessment method, and how will the reform in this respect be pushed forward? Thank you.
这个当科技创新的群体从小众向大众发展的过程，当科技
When the main innovative group has shifted from a small group to a larger group, and when the science tech innovation has become a part of the economic development, and the government will impose more policies to the innovation management. And this kind of policy will better serve the upgraded innovative society. From the incentive policy, the key focus is on the transformation of the science-tech achievements. In the past 5 years, we have revised the law of Republic of China on promoting the transformation of scientific and technological achievements and made amendments and details of this law. For the transformation, we call it a three-step process, and we have made tremendous progress in the transformation. First of all, and we have over 13,000 people participating in this innovation society. And in the past, we have more enterprises who are work on the innovation, and now we have more universities and research institutes participating in this process, and each year with a 20% growth rate. Also, we can see more and more results has been put into practice. And more autonomy has been granted to the science-tech researchers, and we have more resources allocated to them. With all these efforts, we can better incentivize the science-tech researchers, but still, we see some challenges in this transformation process. The key is that how to provide better agent services to all of these innovators, which has been done very well in other countries. And during the transformation process, we do see some inconsistencies in the policies. All of these challenges makes us to further deepen the reform and transformation in the science-tech achievements. From a stimulating perspective, we need more policies. With those emerging problems, China also carry out some tax-related policies. and provide more support to the universities and the research institutes. The purpose is to safeguard the fundamental income for those institutes and upgrade their roles in the innovation. We are also working towards a better remuneration scheme for those people. From the perspective of assessment, this also draws attention from those scientists, because we do see some areas in the assessment is not reasonable. For example, some of the experts in the research, they are not practitioners in the industry. And some of the doctors, even though they are very good at their work, but they are not able to write up good essays. Due to all of these challenges, we come up with a assessment, a categorized assessment to give better evaluation to those talents. In different areas, we need to have a separate assessment policy. So a categorized assessment scheme is very important for the evaluation of these talents. During the two sessions, actually my colleagues are very busy. During this period, they have come up with an integrity plan for the application of innovation, as well as a draft for an evaluation and assessment system. Also, they are also working on a tax-related policy for the innovation achievements. Pretty soon, all of these drafts and policies will come into effect. However, we need to pay long-term attention to the reform of the incentive and the assessment policy. Throughout these years, I can feel the ambition of our science-tech researchers. And we have those like prestigious names like Wei Baoguo, Wang Daguang, etc. All of these people have made contribution to China and dedicated in their work to their last moment. And their spirit is a very precious treasure for China. And we also cherish the spirit of the scientists and the spirit for the innovators, and also want to improve the enthusiasm for the young generation. Not only we give them some material type of rewards, but also we need to recognize them from a spiritual perspective. And for their dedication and their contribution and their persistence, for their long-term hard work, we need to give them a better award and honor. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for taking my question. I'm from Reuters News. So China has very strict goals for electric vehicles. Obviously, there's been some resistance from car makers. It's also very difficult to get consumers to swap over to electric vehicles. What exactly needs to happen next in China for people to adopt electric vehicles? And my second question is, yesterday the head of Tesla, Elon Musk, publicly called out to Donald Trump to look into trade imbalances between China and the US over electric cars and other cars. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on this. Thanks.
路透社记者提问，总共是2个问题。第一个问题，中国 中国电动汽车发展迅速，但近来遇到了一些有关汽车制造商和消费者方面的阻力，因为消费者很难接纳转变这种驾驶方式，所以我想知道科技部是否会采取相应措施，帮助消费者和各界接纳电动汽车这个概念。第二个问题是，美国企业家马斯克昨天公开向美国总统特朗普表示，希望美国总统可以重点关注中美之间由于电动汽车及相关领域所造成的贸易不平衡问题。请问万部长对这个问题怎么看？谢谢。
我跟马斯克已经认识很长时间了，大概。
I've known Musk for a long time. I remember back to 2008 when his company public traded. I used to drive their first electric vehicle. And we have kept very positive exchange throughout these years. And the first time when he came to China, and he also drive the electric vehicle and come to the MOST, and we discuss issues related to the development of the electric vehicles and share some of our experiences. Start from 2011, we have implemented a major reforms of the policy of the electric vehicles, including some of the key technologies. For example, the control mechanism of the electric vehicles. And we have done a lot of work in the research for the electric vehicle. And 10 years later, we start to popularize this kind of vehicle. I still recall that in 2008, the Olympic Games and the 2010 Expo, we met some of the potential users of the electric vehicles and share our views. And start from 2010, we start to launch this kind of electric vehicles and build out correlated infrastructure to support the application of the electric vehicle. And continue our progress in the research and development for the electric vehicle, especially in the area of industrial integration. And so far, we have sold 770,000 electric vehicles. And we have produced over 1.6 million electric vehicles, which we think may account for around 50% of the world inventory of the electric vehicle. By doing this, we will optimize the use of renewable energy. And the second, we want to develop this kind of vehicle in order to better help fighting the pollution in China. And the third, electric vehicles, we consider that as a carrier, and we also want to apply the usage of artificial intelligence of the vehicle, which has a huge potential to help us to ease the burden of the traffic jam. From the world perspective, we can see a shift from a traditional vehicle to electric vehicle. This is a trajectory that we experienced. And I have discussed this issue with many entrepreneurs and researchers in other countries. Currently, we can see many countries have launched the electric vehicles in their own market, including the Audi and Volkswagen and the General Motors, etc. These electric cars are produced by their joint venture in China.
my colleague shared with me the information that Mercedes-Benz cooperated with a Chinese car-making company, and they issued a new energy car, and it's a win-win cooperation, and the car actually is in a very good reputation. Through my contact with Musk, I didn't hear anything negative, but I would like to share with you that we have a very close cooperation with the United States in this sector. With the Secretary of Energy Resources in the United States, we'll work on the clean coal usage, a new energy car, including truck. The all cooperation between two countries in the technology cooperation very smooth and successful. Any questions we can be negotiate or discuss. Also very welcome the U.S. entrepreneurs come to China. Besides electric cars, there are more areas for further cooperation. As long as we strengthen our communication, the technology innovation cooperation will be very smooth and no showstopper. In 1978 and since then, after the first document signed by Deng Xiaoping, it started the journey of cooperation between two countries. And after China's reform and opening up, this year marks the 30th anniversary of China's reform and opening up. I'm fully confident with all these years' accumulation and experience, a very good cooperation mechanism and communication channel have already been built up between the entrepreneurs and even at the government level between two countries. China's new energy vehicle development will be a conducive to the global development in this regard. And I also would like to say that we are very welcome the investors as well as entrepreneurs to come to China and do the business and deliver more products to benefit the people, including our journalists here today.
谢谢主持人。我是中央电视台央视网、央视新闻移动网的记者。我的问题提给万钢部长。那么，万部长在今年的政府报告当中特别提出了要加大民生领域的科技投入，其中有这样一段表述，说要加强雾霾治理、癌症等重大疾病的防治攻关，使科技更好地能够造福人民。所以想问一下，科技部在民生领域的科技创新进展情况如何？未来还会有哪些措施？谢谢。
With China Central Television, Minister Wang, in the report on the work of the government, it's been put forward that state investments in science and technology will be weighted toward improving people's living standards, and the efforts will be strengthened to reduce smog and prevent and cure cancers and other serious diseases, bringing more benefit to the people. Could you brief us on the innovation progress that helped to improve people's lives and what will be the next steps? Thank you.
这个科技惠民啊，改善民生是科学技术发展。
The science and technology to improve people's living standards is the key part of China's directions. After 13th five-year plan issued, we focus on the key areas, including the environmental protection. And we will also have another 4 additional areas added in our scope to finish our 2030 targets. Within this year's efforts and endeavor, we tackle the key concerns by the people in China, and we expand our investment in these regards. For example, the smog issues, we established a system to serve Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei area, as well as the Yangtze River areas. So we have the system to monitor the environment or the air condition. So we also can have the live data reports as well as the warning system. These are the two key functions in the systems, as well as the pollutant emission. All can have a very precise reports. And we have the power plants with nearly zero emissions, as well as green buildings, and new energy electric cars, and also the upgrading of traditional vehicles. All of these help us to secure a decisive victory in improving the air quality and environmental protection. We always focus on green development with all these years' energies. We build all different kinds of models and systems to dealing with such as desertification, afforestation. China is the first country to realize more forests with people's living standard advances. All these create a new progress in people's living standards as well as social and economic development. We're taking more and more active roles to push ahead our policies. We also established a system to prevent and control certain infectious diseases. We also integrated all related departments involved in the emergence systems like the H1N1, H9, H7N9 infectious disease. Like we have the plan settled up within 3 days. We prepare the prescription within 1 month, and within 6 months we have the vacancies ready. And we also help African friends to tackle the Ebola and other infectious disease. And we also provide a Chinese wisdom and Chinese support to dealing with the sudden infectious disease around the world. We research and develop 45 kinds of new vacancies included in the social welfare programs. We would like to give our share of contribution to lower the fees in medical service. And we also have the clinic centers in 30 countries and also lead more than 20 cities in China to conduct the pilot programs. And for the operation as well as the machine required for the operation are all have the new headways. So these new equipment actually served more than 4.5 billion people. Technology is also playing its due role in poverty alleviation. So with all these new technology or cutting-edge tools, we would like to help the people that's living in poverty areas to live in a better life. Let me share with you 2 stories. Last year, I paid a visit to Liangshan to look at the Yi minorities' work in poverty alleviation. Look at the people moving from in hospital areas. Actually, there were companies help them to grow rose. So they actually provide the chemicals needed to grow roses. This is something related to technology. I even go to more remote areas. I see scientists using the beans or the other, like potatoes. They use new seeds of potatoes to increase their productivity by 4 times, and as well as the shape. Right now, they can to give the birth of 4 shapes per one time. We also find the disease that's in the animals. That we also had the specific meetings to deal with the disease. So all of these actually we want to be more active in the poverty alleviation. For our next steps, number 1, we will further our drive in parallel experience zones. Any good experience we would like to roll out to other areas. Number 2, we will focus on the AI, smart technologies to drive our drive to secure a decisive victory in managing the air pollution as well as other people concerned issues to give a great support from the technology sector. Number 3, we'll focus on green. We would like to push forward our technologies to do more in the clean energy sectors. Number 4, we will further strengthen our work in poverty alleviation, and we will also cultivate more people in rural areas to do the poverty works in an innovative way. With all these endeavors, we would like the technology play a more supporting roles, like the social security, the smart city building, for the prevention and the control of infectious diseases, food security platform building. All of these we would like technologies to secure the safety regarding people's daily life. Talking about the key disease or the serious disease management, we already kick off our work in this regard. We will further strengthen our works in this regard. Right now, for the cancers, we have achieved a very notable progress. But for the other disease that require our energies in this regard to lower the disease happening, to reach the breakthroughs in technologies. And we will also would like to cooperate with the clinic centers to quickly commercialize the research into actual application. And we will strengthen our capability in prevent and cure serious disease. Thank you.
戴眼镜的这位穿灰色衣服的女记者，对。
谢谢。我是光明日报融媒体记者。我想请问一下万部长，近年来我国在科技创新方面出台了很多鼓励性的政策，比如说给这个科研经费松绑，让这个打酱油的钱也可以买醋，包括鼓励这个科研人员创新创业。那么我想问的是，接下来我们在这个进一步释放科技创新潜力方面存在的最大困难是什么？我们还会有哪些措施出台，来啃下这些难啃的硬骨头？谢谢。
With Guangming Daily, in recent years, we have witnessed many policies to encourage the science and technology personnel. For example, we have adopted efforts to create enabling environment for researchers and further unleashing their potential to conduct further science and technology research. my question is, what has been the hardest nut to crack in unleashing potential for further scientific and technological research? Thank you.
这个刚才您提到了这个政府工作报告当中的一个是为
In your question, you also mentioned some aspects that was pointed out in the government report. You're talking about to unlock the creativity and the capability of the researchers in the science-tech innovation, and to remove those redundancies in the process. I think these are important issues. Personally, I can feel that in the management of our science-tech research, there were some major challenges and problems. The first one is the primary research, and the other one is the transformation of the science-tech achievements. In order to realize the transformation and improve the capacity of the innovation, the key part is that we should focus on a people-oriented strategy. So for the challenges we have mentioned, are all focusing in the area that we should improve the enthusiasm and the creativity of the researchers. And this sets the foundation for our work. In the past 5 years, for the management of science and technology, and for the usage of the research allowance, we have done major reforms, and a broad range of policies and guidelines came into effective. The researchers are embracing the policies and the regulations. However, during the implementation of those policies, we still have some challenges. One of the areas I want to point out is that there is a general quota that was provided to the company. And we also need to pay attention to the income for those researchers who have made substantive contribution to the innovation. But for the budget, it's limited for the company. That's why we say we have some problems for better allocating incomes to those researchers. According to the budgetary law, certain budget need to be allocated for the science-tech innovation. However, we still see some restraints at the company level. Certain flexibility was given to the budget set for the overall research institute. However, we need to take substantive steps to optimize the income structure for the company. And for the companies, they can actually hire some research assistants in order to support the work for the researchers, to free their hands and better focus on their work. So we have these policies and regulations in place, but during the implementation process, we still have to solve some problems. And we also focus on several agent services. For example, the asset evaluation services. In order to better apply these services in the innovation, we not only need a sound policy, but also need to crack those hard nuts during the process. So for the implementation is the key. And with the experience for the implementation of one policy, we can apply that experience to others as well. And I just talked about the policies that we have worked on during the 2 sessions. And I also talk about the integrity law. And all of these efforts we have made can help better streamline the development for the innovation. I believe for the reform of the innovation in science and technology, we will stay focused on those policies related to the researchers. And with all of those changes, I believe our structural change will step to a higher level.
《产学研合作是实施国家创新驱动发展战略的关键环节。总理在今年的政府工作报告中，要进一步加强产学研用的协同，要聚众智、汇众力，要跑出中国创新的加速度。请问万钢部长，对于促进高校、科研院所和企业深度融合，科技部有什么促进措施？谢谢。
With the magazine of science and technology industry, one of the key links in the innovation-driven development strategy is the collaboration of universities, enterprises, and research institutes. Premier Li also said in this year's report that we must intensify the synergy among these 3 units as well as with the end users and pull everyone's energies together to help China break into a sprint in innovation. Minister Wang, what will the ministry do to facilitate the in-depth integration of universities, scientific institutes, and enterprises? Thank you.
这个党的19大报告和政府工作报告都提出。
With the reports delivered in the 19th CPC National Congress and the work government report, also pointed out the importance of the synergy between enterprises, universities, and the research institute. In the past, we called it a close relation between these 3 sectors, but now we are seeing a deeper synergy between these 2 entities. And we do see some achievements made during this synergy process, but we have to step forward. We need to take a few initiatives to better boost this synergy. First of all, we have to grasp a strong momentum to follow the new trajectory. And we have to integrate the offline and online resources of the enterprises and integrate them with the cooperation of research institute and university. And all of this work should be done through joint efforts. China has made tremendous progress in the high-speed railway, in the also energy vehicles. This is just an example to set the cooperation of the synergy. And in the future, more and more outcomes that was delivered from the universities should be put into practice and become the research outcome. And I also mentioned some challenges during the transformation of the science and technological achievement. Currently, some of the science tech innovations are used in different disciplines and sectors, and we need professionals to help. For the transformation of the achievement, we also need evaluation of the IPR and the assessment of the market value. We need a better market service to support all of these initiatives. And the third point I want to make is that to continue strengthen the build out of the makerspace. That's why I say we have to make advantage of the resources that we have in the universities and try to improve the innovation for a younger generation. From the enterprise perspective, I think we should form some alliances to focus on the area of the artificial intelligence and other new areas and share the IPR so as to boost the synergy between enterprise universities and research institute to form an effort to better develop across different sectors. And we also welcome suggestions from the journalists to point out some of the challenges that we have during this synergy. Now we conclude the press conference. Thank you for your attendance.